Hello, welcome back. I'm Chan, the tech man. This is Syberia. This is my let's play of a game I've never played before, Syberia. It's beautiful and I really like it. This is pretty close to Mist. I like it better than The Witness, that is for sure. And uh, left off here, so go to the next area because there's nothing I can do here right now. Rocks. It's a lot of nice touches. And I think it's this one. She runs just a little bit there and stops. And she walks real slowly up the steps. I guess she's afraid she'll fall.
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
She got to get in there. I'm assuming this is the house. Or mansion, really. It's not a house, it's a mansion. Figured that would do something, but And that's windows open. That's a key. I don't have one.
I need a key.
You could see this with the 32-bit setting. It's pretty clear, but there's an open window.
The door's locked.
The
But I've
only way,
still got to get in there.
the only way I'm gonna get in there is to go up there. But there's another way I can go. Pretty hedge maze or something.
Good morning. You've got a magnificent garden here.
Oh, please don't talk about it. Since my gardener automaton broke down, there are weeds everywhere. You can't imagine how much work it takes me. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. We're not used to doing without our robot help here in Veladiland. But everybody says that we're going to have to get used to it.
Hmm.
Good morning. You've got a magnificent garden here.
Oh well. Hmm.
Oh, please
Oh, that's
don't
pause.
talk about it. Since my gardener automaton broke down, there are
I don't know how to
weeds
skip
everywhere.
through
You
it,
can't
so
imagine how much.
okay. Right click. Let's go here. You can't get around that, can I? Can it? No. It's definitely broke down. There's something here. Is that out? Okay, no.
No point. It's locked.
It's locked. Let's go in here. That is unlocked. And it's got that so I can do something. Well, look at there. I needed that. The thing is just shut down. It's a shame I couldn't see more places, but, well, where do I go now to get out? Okay, yeah, right this way. I got what I needed. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, huh. Well, I guess I have to do it again. Well, that's neat that it knew how to. Can't get it though. Well, let's climb up. I don't think I'd do that in real life. Woo! Them wheels on it, it could slide on you. Maybe it's just locked in because it's automaton. This is the attic. That's some old bicycles. Seems she put those up there because she got older and she didn't feel like riding them. Go this way or this way, so let's go this way. That's a little divider thing. You can see that a lot in homes, older homes for let's stand behind it to change. I knew I heard somebody.
Mammoth. You draw mammoth for Momo?
Momo, it's you. You scared me. What are you doing in here?
Momo want mammoth picture, like Hans' picture.
Sorry, I haven't got a picture of a mammoth with me.
Take paper and pencil and draw mammoth for Momo.
You don't give up easily, do you? You remember me, don't you? I'm Kate.
Draw mammoth for Momo, please.
You must find me a bit rude turning up places uninvited where nobody knows who I am. See, it's kind of my job, you know, to get involved. But don't mind me. Just carry on with what you're doing.
Momo not mind. Anna kind, never angry.
That's right. She won't be angry. Not now.
I'm going to go through all these, so I won't talk until
You're
this is
a sweet
over.
kid, Momo. But I can't draw. Least of all, mammoths.
Draw mammoth easy. Hans draw mammoth. Anna draw mammoth. Kate too.
I mean, maybe I could do a quick squiggle of a box, say, that has a mammoth inside.
No, Momo want a real mammoth.
My goodness, you are one stubborn boy.
Hmm.
There's something I'm looking for, but I don't quite know what. I need a clue, anything that might tell me where Hans is. You want to help me, don't you?
First, you draw mammoth for Momo.
And if I help you, you help me, right?
Momo know Kate is kind. Kate draw mammoth for Momo. Then Momo tell Kate secret.
You've got a secret?
First, draw mammoth for Momo.
Do you know if Anna came here often with Hans?
Momo want mammoth picture, like Hans' picture.
Tell me, Momo. I met someone real interesting in the factory. A kind of robot called Oscar. Now, he told me about a train. Anna didn't tell you where it was going, did she?
Train! Train! Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Woo!
Momo, it's okay, it's okay. What's going to happen to you now that Anna is gone?
Momo big now. They want Momo live at inn. Momo don't want. Momo take care of Momo.
From what I've seen, you look pretty resourceful. It must be fascinating to live in a village full of automatons.
Automatons made by hands. Difficult work. When Momo big, he do like hands. Momo friend of automatons.
Tell me, Momo, did you come here a lot with Anna?
Mm-hmm. Anna like Momo. Anna like hands. Anna on journey.
Hmm.
You lived with Anna Varlberg, didn't you? Maybe you can tell me a secret or two about how automatons are made.
Anna not want Momo in factory.
Tell me, Momo, I heard about a cave. You look like a smart little fellow. You wouldn't know where it is, would you?
Draw mammoth for Momo.
Okay, here's the deal. I draw you a mammoth, and you tell me about the cave, okay?
But first, draw mammoth for Momo.
Momo, I've got to go now. But see you later, maybe.
Let's go over here. We got to draw a mammoth. She said she don't know how to draw a mammoth, but here's some ink. I assume. Yeah, it looked like one of those inks where you could dip the old-fashioned pen in it. Got to figure out how to draw the mammoth. And here's a book. I'm gonna move this so you can't see it, but this, daggone it. This little box for the recording software. And I'm going to read this. I'm going to try to read it really fast. It says, May 14th, 1930. Yesterday, something terrible happened. I don't know who to turn to, who to talk to, so I have decided to write it down. You, dear diary, are now my confidant and sole guardian of my secret thoughts. Hans lies in the next room, teetering between life and death, and I am terrified. Oh, the injustice of life. My mama, first mama, then Hans. Please, dear Lord, don't take my little brother away as well. May 13th. May 15th. Going back in time there, wasn't it? Hans made me promise to keep this a secret, but its burden is too heavy. I know I can tell you, though, dear diary, we discovered a cave in the mountains, a marvelous cavern with ancient paintings on the walls. We saw that in a flashback. Only prehistoric man could have painted them because there were depictions of mammoths, which are prehistoric creatures as well. That much I know. I hate mammoths now. It's all because of them, and because of that stupid prehistoric children's toy. Why, Hans, we saw that in the flashback. Oh, why did you try and take it? And why did I let you climb up there? It's my fault. You are in a coma now, Hans. If you die, I do not know how I could ever forgive myself. May 16th. Hans has still not regained consciousness. Father cannot sleep, and Gertrude cries all day long. Outside, the heat is suffocating, but inside the house is icy cold and dismal. I still have hope, though. I know my brother. I know his strength. He will pull through. He never gives in. I don't know who Gertrude is. May 17th. On these dates, unless it changes a month, I will just say the day. If it and if it changes, I won't say the year unless it changes to the next year. I cannot think of anything else but Hans, and all my walking and sleeping, waking or walking and sleeping dreams. I see his fall over and over, and I see his head hitting the rock and his oh so pale face softening. I have taken refuge in the attic, in the only place where I find any peace wrapped up in all my memories. 18. 5 days have passed since the accident, and Hans still has not opened his eyes. I see him like this, unbearable. Praise God. Please, God, protect him. Take my life, not his. 19th. I feel so desperate so long. I want to snuggle up in Father's arms, but I dare not. He is just so impassive. Oh, Hans, don't leave me here. 20th. It has happened. Hans has come back to life. He opened his eyes and uttered my name, my name. Do you realize this is the happiest day of my life? I want to take to the streets and sing, to proclaim my joy to the world. Thank you. Oh, thank you, God. 22nd. How wonderful, how beautiful life is, Gertrude. And, and I cannot stop breaking into uncontrollable fits of giggles. Hans even wolfed down his meal today. I knew he was tough, my little brother. Even Father smiled at me today when he said good morning. 25th. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'm totally absorbed in Hans' recovery. I have scarcely 5 minutes to myself to return to my refuge and scramble down these words. 29. It's very curious whether Hans is hungry, thirsty, or if he wants something. He cannot stop saying my name. He can't bear it when I leave him, even for an instant. Gertrude thinks that I should move my bed into his room to help him sleep better. I hope that Father will agree. June 2nd. Today was the first day that has left the house. He went for a short walk in the garden, but Hans is still very weak. The doctor said we should be patient and shouldn't rush him. It is so hard, though. I hope so much that life can return to how it once was. 20th. Hans has been out of his coma for a month now. He still doesn't say much and has difficulty moving. He sits motionless for long periods of time, his eyes wide open, as though lost in thought. I have often had to call his name several times before he reacts. Then he will smile, and when he does, the moment is magic for me, and I couldn't possibly be happier. 22nd. I had to talk to him. The burden was too great. I asked Hans about the accident in the cave to find out what he could remember. He could utter only one word, mammoth, and his eyes glowed so strangely when he said it that he frightened me. September 15th. I go back to school today, and for the first time in my life, I am dreading it. Well, I'm going to go back here real quick. His eyes glowed strangely. Well, that's odd. It's like something took over his body or something after this moment. And before I read this, too, I kind of thought about maybe Anna isn't dead because he wasn't dead. He faked his death, and the boy said Anna was on the journey. So it kind of makes you wonder. Uh, now, September 15th, I go back to school today, and for the first time in my life, I'm dreading it. I'm afraid of leaving Hans alone despite Gertrude's kindness and attention. I have the impression that Hans is much less nervous when I'm there. She seems like she's like a servant or something. October 20th. While I was doing my homework yesterday evening, Hans crept up on me so quietly that he made me jump. He took a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, and curiously he started drawing. It's the first time since the accident he has done anything but daydream. 28th. Hans scribbled almost obsessively. It is all he will do, all day long. It I feel it annoys father. Nobody else understands, but I can see that Hans is trying to draw mammoths. November 16th. Today is my birthday, and Gertrude has made me apple pie, my favorite, but father has not returned home from lunch, and Hans doesn't want to leave his room. The best present I could ever have is to see Hans back on the way to recovery. December 25th. Snow was falling. It's so beautiful. January 10th, 1931. The doctor visited to examine Hans. He seems happy that my little brother has fully recovered his faculties. It truly is a miracle. I don't understand why he doesn't talk more, though. Why isn't he livelier like he was before? February 9th. It is Hans' birthday today, and he is 11 years old. I have the strangest of impressions that actually he has lost 5 years rather than gained one more. February the 24th. Doctor has just left. I saw him whispering with father. Their serious expressions worry me awfully. What could they be hiding from me? I'm grown up now. At the age 15, you could understand everything. I am too scared to ask father what is happening. Understand everything. March 15th. I have been thinking, and it seems to me that Hans' attitude isn't normal. The shock of the fall and his coma must have had much more serious effects than we first imagined. Hans, my dear, what is happening to you? April 4th. I have discovered the truth. Hans is stunted physically and mentally. I eavesdropped a conversation between the doctor, father, and Gertrude. Gertrude buried her tear-filled eyes in her apron, and father muttered the words, I ain't gonna say that. You can see under his breath, how could he say such a thing? April 13th. It is Easter, and we're on school holiday. It means I can spend all day with Hans and protect him from father's permanent dark moods. He cannot accept the fact that his only son will stay in this state forever. April 14th. I know I said I wasn't going to say those months, but it is truly difficult to accept, but it's not Hans' fault. Mine, maybe, but not Hans. I don't know how to make father understand. He seems full of hatred for him. It is dreadful. I feel so powerless. May 14th. One year has gone by and it feels like an eternity. The situation shows no signs of improvement, neither in terms of Hans' mental health or father's attitude towards him. 30th. Extraordinary. Father has decided to take Hans to Paris for new tests. He says that only in the French capital will he find truly competent doctors. We must make Hans ready for the expedition. June 6th. No news from father and Hans, but I remain hopeful. I'm sure they will take good care of my little brother. July 15th. They have returned. Hans rushed into my arms and started crying. It took me a long time to calm him down and get him to sleep. Father is still as tac, uh, tac, what is it? Fact, I don't know what that says, as he was before he left. The French doctors have confirmed the diagnosis. Hans will remain physically and mentally impaired. I am stunned. Is it a F? Facturn? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a word, though. August 28th. The summer is coming to a close. It has been less stifling than the last. The sun has put color in Hans' cheeks. When I look at him, I have difficulty imagining that he will not change. November 16th. Father still says nothing and increasingly shuts himself away in his office at the factory. Christmas. Gertrude tells me that love and faith triumph over any science. Unlike neither, God be praised. February 12, 1932. Father took Hans to the factory this morning. Hans was so afraid that I accompanied them. Fortunately, Father said nothing. I failed to understand why he insists on bringing him there. 13th. Father left for the factory with Hans once again this morning. I think he wants to persuade Hans that he could be useful for something. It is his way of resisting fate. February 17th. For a month now, every morning Hans has gone to work with Father at the factory. I'm not exactly sure what he does there, but he seems to enjoy it. I feel my brother's behavior has changed considerably. He is much less capricious. April 14th. I could cry. Hans has made me a present, a small robot mammoth with a trunk that raises and falls. When Father saw it, he nodded his head in satisfaction. May 20th. Both Gertrude and Father now have their own robot mammoths. Theirs are even more intricate and finely tuned. Little brother is not much of a, uh, after all, I'm not going to say that word. October 15th. Hans mammoths now walk, raise their trunks, and wag their tails. It's incredible. December 22nd. I met the head of the factory workshop, Mr. Grips, this morning. He says that for a young lad at 12, Hans is very gifted. It is insane. It's a shame he only makes elephants. Well, not really elephants, it's mammoths. It's a difference. February 11th, 1933. Father and Hans were locked in a long discussion yesterday, or should I say, Hans was locked in one of Father's long monologues, as it is inconceivable that Hans should go to school like other children. Father wants him on as a worker at the factory. However, Hans will have stopped making his own little devices. Hans' silence, his half gaping mouth and staring eyes finally sent Father into a rage. February 12th. I tried to broach the subject with Hans. I suggested that he should obey Father. Learning a craft at the factory is his one chance to do something constructive with his life. He is so gifted and takes so much pleasure in making automatons. He did look like he wasn't listening to me, but I know he thinks about what I said. He'll think about what I said. February 20th. It's not that Hans cannot speak, it's rather that he doesn't want to speak. He uses the least possible words for communication, except with me, but he is still very economical with his words. March 15th. Incredible. Hans was not dissatisfied with learning how the assembly line works. Said he has completely redesigned it. Father and Monsieur Grips are taking a serious look at his plans. July 10th. Father has wanted to talk to me about my future since I passed my exams. He wants to send me to university because he says my intelligence is outstanding. My heart was beating so loud. It it is true. I do love studying, but I couldn't bear to be away from Hans. September 2nd. What a ghastly summer. I have been permanently torn between my desire to go to university and my refusal to leave my brother. I talked about it with Hans, and he said nothing. That same evening, I found my own little mammoth broken. October 9th, Hans had another fit of hysterics at dinner again. Father announced that Hans' new assembly line would soon be finished. However, they have removed the automaton parrots that shout orders so as they were deemed superfluous. Hans was livid. He hurled his soup dish to the ground and stormed off to his bedroom. What will happen between both of them when I am not here? 17. Despite my scruples, I am finally leaving. Hans has not talked to me for a week. Father would not understand if I told him why I wanted to stay. My heart is so heavy. Christmas. It's so strange to be home. I had never left home for so long of a time before. Once we were alone, Hans did not stop talking. Words just leaped from his mouth. How we laughed at his excitement. He presented me with a delightful little ballerina to replace the mammoth. He told me I was so touched that I started crying. Distance has done nothing to harm the strong bond between us. It is strange to pick up this diary on September 10th. Once more, first my impulse was to 1937. I should have said that. So that's several years. So this is after she graduated university, I assume. So it's September 10th, 1937. It is strange to pick up this diary once more. First, my impulse was to tear it up, but I resisted and instead scribbled to my second desire, which was to write for a while. I am alone in my attic once more. I have been home for 2 months now, and after a summer spent living with the intense joy of being reunited with my brother, Hans has returned to the factory. Father has aged so, and Gertrude's arthritis caused her terrible pain. 13th. All in all, these last 4 years have been kind to Father and Hans. Together, their relationship is less intense. They still do not exchange much conversation, but they now have a thing in common, the factory. I'm even beginning to feel a bit jealous. Silly, really. 17th. Hans hasn't changed to help Gertrude. He has designed a totally automated kitchen, and Gertrude can't stop moaning at the wooden puppets. Oh, how I adore them. I don't know if it means Gertrude likes them or not. October 9th. I went to go and see Father and Hans at work. I hadn't been to the factory for ages. It is strange how much it has changed. I was very curious to see them set about their task. I like Father's new office very much. Hans has a small workshop on the first floor crammed with odds and ends, unfinished robots and designs exactly as I imagine it, in fact. 15. The factory is working very well. Orders for toys keep coming in, spurred on by the run up in Christmas when I was at university and I was at when I was at university and I said my name was Vorarlberg. People would ask me if I had any relation to the Valdelens factory. Now I know the effect that Hans' genius has had on the factory's renown. November 2nd. I make myself useful. To make myself useful, I started helping Father set his papers in order. The most extraordinary thing of all is that for the first time ever, I've had the impression that the three of us form a real family. Woo! It's a lot more reading. December 8th. Hans never ceases to surprise me. Between home and the factory, his behavior is so very different. In his workshop, You probably could skip the rest of this video if you don't want to finish reading this with me. So the rest of this, I'll just read this because it is so long. If you want to continue watching this, that'd be great. But if not, you can just watch the next video when I put that up, or if you've already watching this when I have that next video, you can just watch the next video to get the continuation of after I read this. Hans has never ceased to surprise me. Between home and the factory, his behavior is so very different. In his workshop, he is serious, concentrated, a proper young man who keeps his eye on everything going on, constantly on the move and in control. One has the impression that each single toy is his very own infant. At home, he turns back into a child once more and is either moody or a happy-go-lucky buffoon. Christmas. The most wonderful Christmas of my whole life. Hans and I could not stop giggling like children beneath Father's disapproving glare. I know that he was only pretending, really. Hearts are so full of hope. January 5th, 1938. Hans come to see me in my bedroom yesterday evening. I felt terribly awkward, terribly ill at ease. I might have guessed Hans wants to leave Valdelin, the house and the factory. He wants to go traveling. He doesn't know where to or for how long. That's just like him. I was so shocked that I told him his plans were foolish. He left my room without a word. He's head, uh, what's the word? His head bowed. Okay. January 7th, 1938. I thought that he wanted to leave because of Father. Not at all. It's because of the mammoths. He wants to go tracking mammoths. I thought he had gotten over his obsession. I know my brother only too well. I wouldn't dream of telling him his quest is useless. It isn't worth it. He would not listen to reason. The 10th. I was so selfish the other evening. I returned to talk to Hans and ask him gently if he was sure of his decision. I already know what the reply is going to be. Nothing will make him change his mind. 19th. Despite my profound sadness and despair, I must help Hans fulfill the destiny he has chosen and announce the news to Father. I fear the worst. The 24th. The worst was worse than my fears. Father's anger was terrifying. He shut Hans away in his workshop at the factory and has forbidden all visits except from Gertrude, who feeds him. February the 1st, this is 1938 by the way, Father has decided that Hans should remain locked up for as long as it takes him to abandon his infantile decision. Gertrude tells me that Hans is very disappointed yet highly resolute. The worry is driving me mad. 6. As soon as Gertrude returns from the factory, I hasten to get news of my little brother. He doesn't say anything. He just fiddles with bits and pieces. She replies every day with a sigh. I have tried desperately to reason with Father, but I know I am just wasting my breath. The 9th. Hans is 18 years old today, and he is all on his own for his birthday. The 20th. In secret, Gertrude delivered to me a small robot from Hans. It's a robot of us as children. It works with a small cylinder punched with tiny holes. I think that's the one that we saw. It was moving and stuff, had that voice thing. I quivered with emotion as I turned the key. The message it gave was simple. Oh, excuse me. He was telling me he loved me very, very much. The 21st, Gertrude gave me a different tiny cylinder for today's toy. Hans is truly incredible. He has found a means of communicate between us and us alone in total secret. That's pretty good. He invented that himself and figured out how to put audio onto that. February 27th, my days are spent eagerly awaiting Hans' messages. He has now resolved to run away. He has prepared his escape like if it was a game. Whew, hope this is about finished. March 6th. Gertrude has returned and she is beside herself. Hans has disappeared. Father has not even, excuse me, I'm just taking a little rest here. Dean to return to the workshop where he locked up his son, nor find out how he managed to escape. He just gave me a black look as if he knew we were up to something behind his back. The 7th. It is beginning to dawn on me that Hans is gone. I miss him so much, Lord. Please protect my little brother and watch over him for me. The 11th. With Hans gone, Father now locks himself away night and day at the factory. The house is so gloomy now. 12th. The morning I caught this morning I caught Father in the drawing room installing a coffin on a trestle. The sight of it made my blood freeze. What on earth is he up to? My questions meet only with stony silence and a permanent black countenance. The 13th, behind closed curtains of the drawing room with the coffin surrounded by huge candles has become a veritable funeral chamber. March the 14th. This is ghastly. I have just understood what Father is up to. This morning the priest came to pray before the coffin, and I finally caught on. Father is in mourning for the death of Hans. Father made the priest believe that his son was dead. How could he do such a thing? The 16th. In the madness, shoo, associated by his grief, my father grows ever more cold and calculating. He moved my cursor. He contacted his old friend, Dr. Schmoll, who duly drew up a bona fide death certificate without even seeing the body. I dare not imagine what yarn he spun. 17th. Hans' funeral will be officially held next Sunday. Father strictly forbade me to attend. This sordid masquerade makes me feel ill, but I cannot denounce the subterfuge or else I will display my father's mental instability to the world. The shame would kill him, that much is certain. 23rd, I have to get away for far, far away. Uh, March 23rd, no, I will not leave. I have thought long and hard. My life is here next to my father. He needs me too much now. The factory needs me because Father is incapable of running it now. Besides, I can only find peace of mind among Hans' robots, and how shall I know when he has sent me new ones if I am not at home to receive them? No, I shall not leave. My destiny is to remain here and keep watch. Well, that is all of that. So I want to thank you for tuning in. My website is chansmith.me. Go there if you want to donate. The link is on the website. Check out the website. Videos automatically post there. Smash that like button on this video. Hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube or BitChute. Appreciate it. Share all my stuff on your social networking. Get in the comment section, but be nice, and stay tuned for the next video in this series and watch all of my other videos.